About 8 years ago, I experienced my first panic attack when I was driving to work on a highway in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I mean, my palms were sweaty, my heart was beating so fast that I had to park on the side of the highway to, you know, feel calm again. And it felt like it was out of nowhere. And I didn't really understand what was happening to me then. I didn't even pay much attention to it when it first happened to me. Fast forward, I moved to Fayetteville, North Carolina. The same panic attack happened, right? On the highway, when I was driving on the highway, I had the same feeling, the same panic attack happened. Now, it's a different state, but same response to driving on the highway. That's what my body was responding to, right? My heart was beating, my palms were sweaty. And I did the same thing, park on the side of the highway to, feel calm again, then continue driving. But this time around, I started to pay attention and notice the pattern. I'm like, I got curious. Why do I feel this insistent panic attacks that come out of nowhere and I don't understand why? Now, fortunately for me, I got very curious about brain-body connection and, neuroplasticity, and also events that happened in our childhood and how they shape experiences we have in our adulthood. Now, a little bit of science here. So the way the brain works, the first 7 years of our brains is the productive years. So I would say productive. The first 7 years of our brains, the brain takes in everything like a sponge, right? Good, bad, whatever it is, it just takes in everything and it becomes the baseline of your personality. So for me, I had a car accident with my mom when I was about 6 months old in the car. And it was very traumatic, but that's what my brain took on as my first experience on being on the highway. And I had already forgotten about it, that happened to me, until I had my first panic attack decades later, right? Because the body always keeps score of everything that happens to us. Once I started to understand like the brain-body connections, I realized that in order for my body not to go into insistent panic attacks, I had to slowly build capacity and trust between my brain and my body over the years. And so this is what I started to do. So I stopped taking the highways to work. I stopped. So what I started to do is I changed the setting on my Waze driving app to take the back roads. Because I'm a huge believer of baby steps, because I knew that at that point I didn't have the capacity. It felt very overwhelming for my brain to be on the highways. So I started to take the back ways, and I just, every time I would do like deep breathing, and I would just tell myself, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. Just baby stepping myself into teaching my body a new experience. And I did that for some time until I got very comfortable using the back ways. And I saw that I started to have more capacity for a different experience. So what did I start doing? I started taking the highways. And this time around, it felt different. There was less panic attacks. I still felt the tightness in my chest. But every time it came up, it wasn't so overwhelming. And I kept telling myself, you're safe, Wanu. You're safe, Wanu. And I always do this little thing. So anytime I merge on the highway, when I first started this a few years ago, I high five myself in the mirror. I'm like, great job. What that kept doing to my brain was creating new neural pathways in my brain. Like, because my brain or my body started to register that, oh, we're actually safe, right? We're not where we were when we had that traumatic car accident when we were a child. But that took consistency, not intensity. And I understood myself well enough to say, hey, I'll take the back roads first and give myself grace. I didn't push myself full throttle into, okay, you know what, because I couldn't, because I'm scared of the highways and I need to face my fear, I'm going to go all the way. No, I realized that my body needed grace, my body needed time to build a capacity. Now, I've also realized that the brain logically knows something is not safe for us or we're repeating a pattern, but the body works on a different time. So I can logically know something is right for me, but the body takes time to catch up. And there's no timeline per se. The only thing you can do is consistently create that capacity so your body's time can catch up to whatever it is that is in your current safe environment. And it's totally transformed my life. Now I don't have no panic attacks. I drive on the highway. I take road trips. I don't even have the tightness in my chest anymore. But that took years of consistently micro moments of safety. You're changing neuroplasticity, just the little mundane things I kept doing over and over and over and over and over again. And it made me realize the power of consistency. And the power is also like giving myself grace, when I see myself, the tightness in my chest come up and I'm, breathing really hard. And I'm like, it's okay, Wanu, you're safe. Because I know it's not that version of me that is responding to that event. It's that child that had an accident when she was 6 months old. But now it doesn't happen anymore. And I just thought I'd share because it just made me really appreciate the power of, one, creating internal capacity by micro moments of safety, creating trust between your brain and your body over time repeatedly by changing your routines just a tiny bit, and also giving yourself permission to be a human being, right?